Welcome to this edition of the X Fan Show, the A Train Arlington Lane flying solo today. I may have some people come on. We'll see what happens as this night progresses. Probably go on for about an hour because I want to catch some of the NBA finals. Um, but yeah, this is it, folks. The big game is going to be here on Sunday, Father's Day. And it's a good matchup. I'm like, I think people really need to check in with this. The shit like fans around the country that are UFL fans should be here in St. Louis for this game. Like seriously. I don't think they need this is the big one. I know when I checked in with the conference championship game, and I was like, there's no way that the Brahmas should have beaten the Battlehawks, but the way that the game went, the game spoke a lot of volumes with how that Battlehawk team was. And I know everybody did. They saw the we got here. That team better get a new OT next season. You know what? Um, with it, with that being said, like I can't sit here and be like, how can I explain this without making it seem like that everything was Bruce Gradkowski's fault? Because it wasn't per se. I know a lot of people blamed him because from where we sat, it was run, 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 and then pass. But if you watch that game, if you watch the game, you could kind of tell Mr. AJ McCarron was not feeling his best. And because that he wasn't feeling his best, it became a little more difficult for him to make passes. And that's not saying that there's no excuse, but the thing was he was really trying to push through all the pain. He really was. And I want to show you a little bit of the press conference from the UFL. You've seen it. You probably have seen it. If not, I definitely want you to at least get a little bit of insight on it and understand that what AJ had going on, it was tough. And I hate that he went through all of that. I really do. Like he didn't deserve I wish the outcome was different. I wish the outcome was different, but you know, AJ battled through that game, man. Like I know a lot of people was looking him to do more, throw more, and that kind of thing, and it just didn't work out in his favor. And this is a little bit of insight from him at that press conference.
Trying to show them you got to be able to push through, right? Especially at a young age. As a kid, they slide into second, skin their knee up. The first thing they want to do is, oh, my knee. And then I know, especially my oldest right here, he likes to exaggerate a lot of injuries. So trying to show him, hey, you got to push through it. And then two, listen, I care. I mean, even when it was X, I felt like I care a lot about this league. A lot about, why I came back. Like, I don't need the money, but I think being able to show the guys how to do it right, how to be a pro, and like I said many a times, and it's no secret, I want to be a part of this league. I still think I can play at a high level. I think I've shown that this year. But whether it's being a coach in this league, I think this league has a great opportunity to grow and really showcase a lot of guys and help guys achieve their goal.
All right. Yeah, that was, of course, AJ McCarron giving insight on pushing through and stuff like that. And like I gotta give him massive credit, man, for that because he played, heart was on the line, and Lord have mercy, he went through it, man. Like straight up, he went through that, and I don't know. I guess I'm looking at it as he did as well as he could for what he was able to do with his own body. So much respect to you, man. Much respect to you and uh what you were able to try and pull off. I would love to see him come back in another year. Well, he did mention about coaching, but again, I know I'm sitting here and saying that coaching was a part of that. That a lot of people, especially on the Battlehawk side, were unhappy with how Bruce Gradkowski was coaching this game, and you had to go by how your quarterback was feeling, and it was like, well, put in Manny Silvers, but it would have been damned if it did, damned if it don't. If he would have put Manny in and Manny had an awful game, folks would have flipped on him too. Folks would have flipped on him. It wouldn't have mattered at this rate. But again, this is really not about, it's not about the Battlehawks loss. This is about the Brahmas winning and doing what they were supposed to do. Their running game, their running game was hot to try. You could not stop. And Spurge had told me during the game, he said, if Anthony McFarland told me literally at the game, said, if Anthony McFarland start getting hot, watch out. Long game. And sure enough, Anthony McFarland got hot. And they took the dub. They took it really to that the defense's chin of the Battlehawks, man. Like really gave it to him on the chin. And that's the type of game that the Brahmas can play. They can they can play on both sides of the ball. Now we have lately have seen there was some controversies going on. That was reported by James Larson of Pro Football Newsroom, mentioning that Landon Akers was going to be out for the championship game, and they were trying to sign another tight end, but uh, there was a pause in the signing, and they weren't allowed to get another tight end. So now they only have the one tight end, and it led to a couple of players online going off on the UFL execs. That's exactly what I'm referring to. Sabrina uh, was a quarterback of the St. Louis Battlehawks. Brandon Silvers made a comment about that, but he didn't say by whom. But it was leaned to not James Larson, excuse me. Matty Fresh was the one that put it out there about Landon Akers in the championship. We're not going to play in the championship game. Yeah, please God, let them beat Birmingham. Yes, it was a hot mess all around, but the Brahmas was able to make plays when they needed to. Granted, the Battlehawks was trying to make a massive comeback, but when you have 213 yards on the ground and your top two running backs had almost 200 yards of rushing alone, it's going to be difficult to stop, especially when you're at home. Massive. I have to give a lot of credit to Jacob Sailors, who was working his tail off as much as he could with 79 yards and on the 14 carries. But I think it got bad from the beginning when the minute that first pass to Hakeem Butler and it went over his hands, it was going all downhill from there. It did seem like there was no promise for that. And the Brahmas were ready. Big ups to AJ Smith. Saw him after the game and they had a game plan ready to go. Even though it once they got that first score, I kind of saw it then. I just did not say anything when they scored in the first quarter, and they scored first. I'm like, it's looking really bad for the Battlehawks, and that they were going to knock off St. Louis in St. Louis, and they did exactly that. I'm more JR saying I'm more upset. We never saw Silvers all season. AJ is hurt and Wilkins can't throw. Why the hell is Silvers on this team? That is a question that has to remain up with the coaching staff with that. Why they didn't choose to put him out there. I don't I don't know if Brandon even wanted to play. Suiting up, cool. But he was ready. I think he was ready to go. I seen him out there tossing passes and whatnot, and seeing it, look like he was ready to get into the game. That's the mayor of the XFL's favorite, Brandon Silvers. Oh, he said it was the USFL side of management. Oh, okay. We'll see how that one go. I love Beck, but if he has no control over Bruce and his terrible offense, then they both have to go. Willie Phillips showed how much smarter he was than Beck and Bruce. Well, yeah, come on, we got to get an understanding here. It's granted, JR, that the Wade Phillips has been around in the league more than you probably have been born, more than I have been born. And let's not forget he had a father that was a pretty good coach in his own right. So yeah, you could kind of see the experience was going to be greater on their end than it would be, but you can't say the same thing for AJ Smith. AJ Smith is a creative offensive guy. He is Nick Crozier in the movie Any Given Sunday. You remember the movie Any Given Sunday? Nick is more innovative. Wade is old school. The difference was Wade let AJ do his thing, while as in the movie, Tony D'Amato was nitpicky with what Nick Crozier was doing. So that's in that case, that's the difference. He was allowing him to run that offense. He believed in him. That's why he chose him for last year when he was with the Houston Roughnecks, when they had, guess what, folks? The exact same record at 7-3. The exact same record. No different. But the difference was those two in San Antonio was able to make it work. They didn't have the running backs like they did in Houston. And no disrespect to Bryson Aline or any of their running backs that they had. When you have a guy like John Lovett, who came from Vegas over to San Antonio, and Anthony McFarland, who I believe came over from Seattle, y'all can help me with that. They were able to hit the ground running, and you had a quarterback that listened, and I believe Silvers did too, because that's why they were able to be as successful as they were, especially during those first few games of the year last year. But Garbers went down. Dormady was able to keep things moving as they were able to do, and they were able to pull off one of the biggest upsets of the season against the Stallions. And here they are again on the big stage playing against that same team that they knocked off back in, I believe it was week 8. So here we are. That game itself, of course, there was bad defense, man, but you can't sit here and act like that it was on both ends, especially in that XFL conference championship game, man. But granted, there was a lot of yards. There was over 640 yards between the two teams. Granted that the Brahmas had 410 of those, but and honestly, there weren't too many penalties, but there were big penalties during the game at certain points, especially on the Battlehawk side. I get it. A lot of people were very upset at Travis Feeney for that. I think it was a third or fourth down play where he jumped the gun. I think it was third down. They were going to make a stop, and boom, he got flagged for a neutral zone infraction, and that led to a first down for San Antonio. Yes, those little menial mistakes can hurt, but at the same time, it's kind of difficult when it's hard to stop the rushing attack that they had in that game. So I think the Stallions will be the home team in this game. Better record, is the home. We get the home team. Will be the home team. So I don't think either team minds that. I don't think either team minds that at all. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm uh, at this moment. Said the defense has 9 guys in the box all game and is blitzing on just about every play. What play call should the offense call to slow down the pass rush? Well, as you can see, man, they tried to do that. And it was difficult to do that, especially when your quarterback didn't have an arm to. He could make throws because he did. He actually made almost 30 throws in that game. Uh, you have to make pass. You have to call pass plays on that. But it was, like I said, it was difficult for them, especially in that XFL championship game where they kept rushing the ball. I think it was like 3-4 times in a row they rushed the ball because we had fans next to on the side. They was like, another run play. They was getting hot. It was literally hot. And I see JR, you hot about it too. But guess what? It's done. It's over. And now the Brahmas is going to be in the championship game on Father's Day. All right, going to take a quick time out and come back with more of the show. We'll be right back after this. You're tuning in to the X Fan Show right here on Fuel Sports Network.
Houston, we've triumphed. I've made it back to Earth with the cargo intact. The game-changing, time-sensitive payload is none other than the revolutionary energy flavor we've all been waiting for. Introducing Merc Mayhem Cherry Limeade. Merc Clan played a crucial role in securing this energy flavor, and together we've unlocked the future of power. Merc Mayhem is not just a drink, it's a statement, a fusion of relentless energy and bold flavor. The secret is out. Merc Mayhem is set to redefine the energy landscape, leaving ordinary drinks in its cosmic dust. Get ready for a taste explosion that matches Merc Clan's unparalleled power. Join the revolution, and let's unleash Merc Mayhem upon the world. Astronaut M signing off.
Same great taste. Yes, same great taste. Same great taste.
Welcome back to the X Fan Show, on Fuel Sports Network. Always, you can check it out on fuelsportsnetwork.com. The A Train Arlington Lane. I have no idea. I know they want to rip into them Grekowski right now, but That's not the case at the moment. From what I get from Sabrina, saying the XFL side is the Battlehawk side, and they have used it to be the home side, and the USFL side is the visitor. Well, there it is. So, if you checked out the tickets online, I would have thought the records would have been that case, but um, I don't know. I mean, that's what we have. So, and that's what it's going to be. So, there it is. Oh boy, are Battlehawks fans going to the big game? Some are. Some are going to go down. I don't know if all of them. Somebody online saying I'm giving up all my tickets that I had for the game. Okay, cool. Hey, look, free tickets if they don't want them. I think I look at the UFL championship as a big party for its UFL fans. I know they don't look at it that way. That's how Arlington A Train sees it. And it should be for that. And it was like that last year with the XFL championship where it was one big party. Uh Fans from all over the country coming in to check in with the game. That's how it looked, even with the 25,000. Exactly. It's good to support the league. A lot of people are unhappy with the league, but it's an opportunity to support the league. Exactly. Father's Day, it's on Father's Day. So hey, if no Father's Day plans, boom, go ahead and uh check out a great football game because it's a great matchup. I think people need to really understand that these are legitimately the two best teams uh in the league. I know a lot of people didn't look at San Antonio at the beginning of the season, and boy, they showed told me. I got James Larson. Shout out to my guy Jay Noakes. Jay Noakes, they was like, hey, they had them down at plus 1,500 at the beginning of the season. And lo and behold, the lowest got to the top. So if you made your bet with San Antonio going all the way, kudos to you. And hopefully you get a lot of money off of whatever you bet during this UFL season. Those literally are the two best teams in the league. I can't sit here and act like that they're not. One thing that had me perturbed was the announcement of the offensive player of the year. The MVP, I'm cool with, but the offensive player of the year, maybe not so much. Listen, I understand Hakeem Butler, and congratulations to Hakeem. But when a guy leads the league in yards per game, and touchdowns, and he doesn't get any recognition for it, it's kind of hard for me to sit there and say he didn't deserve offensive player of the year. Now, his team on the other hand, the defense let him down a lot of times in those games. That was like, man, I don't know. He said Marquette King concert at halftime. They may do it. They may do it. You never know. What's going on, Sandy? Good evening to you as well. See Kiala saying she's there to support and definitely cheering for the XFL. And see, and that's the other thing about this league, folks. The division, the conference rivalries is key here. Like when they had the matchup and it was what tied 7-7, 7 wins for the UFL and for the USFL and 7 wins for the XFL. So it was good. It's quite fun to see both conferences. I'm a fan of that. A lot of people look at it's division. Why would you create, if you're saying you're United Football League, why would you create two leagues and make them conferences and then separate as one? Because you have your favorite from the USFL and then you have your favorites from the XFL. And I thought that was a great idea. Oh, great. Oh, okay, cool. I want to hear what he got. I want to hear what Marquette King has to offer at halftime. He says it's been announced as is the halftime show. All right. But I want to see how all of that plays, all of this plays out. Like, who is the better conference? What is wrong with that? That brings competition. That brings um that would unite the fans. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody coming in all of a sudden? Wait, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host is here.
Bullet Club four.
You hear that? Hey, JR, I have lost control. I have lost control, man. I've lost control right now, man. I don't know what's going on. Is he ready? The villain has arrived.
Sorry, I am late. Was dealing with some personal issues, and here at Fuel, we were always about family first. Hey, first and foremost, hello everyone. First and foremost, our girl Sandy, right here, the queen, the first lady of the St. Louis Battlehawks. Her daughter had surgery and she needs some help. Sandy has a GoFundMe. Please go and help Sandy's daughter out. Arlington, let's get to it. Get back on here with me. Arlington, I've been sitting here on Facebook looking at everything, right? Arlington, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
St. Louis said that if we'd had the Dome last year, if we'd had the championship game last year, we'd have done what at the Dome?
Fill the top.
That was on Mother's Day, if I wasn't mistaken. It was Mother's Day weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Arlington? Right? Arlington. And they still had 25,000. Canton, Ohio, they did it over 4th of July weekend. Didn't even have a football team in Canton, Ohio. Did they, Arlington? For the USFL. Played at a neutral site. How many people did they get, Arlington? 14 to 15?
15,000? Yeah, about 15,000.
Right, something like that, right? Now, listen, I understand certain things come up. I understand certain things happen. I understand. But St. Louis, you want to show you're the number one fan base? Show up to the game. Give your tickets away. You don't need to be going on Facebook berating people, telling them they're losers because of family situations that they can't attend a game. Arlington, I've been very critical of this St. Louis fan base, have I not? Since we've started this show over 6 years ago, have I not? Have I not, Arlington?
Yeah.
I've been very critical of them.
I'm
going to give somebody props.
Go ahead.
My man right here.
I gotta take this call, dude.
Oh, go ahead. My man right here. JR. My man, JR. Text me the night after the game. Pissed off, screaming, yelling. Facebook messaging. Pissed off, screaming, yelling, saying we got cheated. I said, JR, go back and watch the game, bro. You'll see something different. A couple days later, JR texts me back and says, I apologize, sir. You're right. We got out-coached. You're right, St. Louis. We got out-coached by Wade Phillips. I'll give JR credit because JR manned up to it. Text me, said, you're right, Dirty. We got out-coached. You guys do realize, in this first half, we had 4 defensive penalties, 2 offsides, 2 neutral zone infractions. Yes, Sandy, we did. We beat ourselves. 2 of them, 4 neutral zone infractions, 2 offsides. Why? Who knows why? We know how loud it is in the Dome. I understand you're trying to jump off sides to get there and to make the play. I understand it. Let's mind you guys this. No matter how much noise we made, San Antonio, Brahmas, not one offensive penalty. Not one offensive penalty. Not a false start. Nothing from the Brahmas. Give them credit where credit is due. Give Coach Wade Phillips credit where credit is due. Give A.J. Smith, the guy I have said that is the best offensive coordinator in this league, credit. The Brahmas outplayed us and beat us. Yes, you are absolutely right. They were way more prepared, and we weren't. Guys, we've seen it time and time and time again. Time and time again. When the game is on the line, I don't know what it is. Is it the excitement? Is it the adrenaline running through the veins of the St. Louis Battlehawks? I don't know what it is, but we cost ourselves the games. Then I go online and I see, again, anybody can vouch right now on this show who has not been an A.J. McCarron supporter. Who has not? Which guy? Which guy's got two thumbs that has not been an A.J. McCarron supporter? Anybody in the chat line want to chime in? Please do. Because I know the answer. It's this guy right here. But I'll tell you what. There you go. See? Somebody had the cojones to say it. Somebody had the cojones to say it. But I will say this. The man earned my respect as a quarterback. The dude played 5 weeks injured. 5 weeks injured. For us. For the city of St. Louis. Played injured. For us. Missed only 2 games and was still injured. Came back and played. But yet we crucified this man. We crucify him. I've done it. I'm not going to lie. I've done it. I've told his mom and I've told his dad. I've done it. But what I won't do is I will demand earned my respect. Played injured for us. The St. Louis Battlehawks right here. This team right there. Right there. Played injured for us. Hurt. You heard in the dude's press conference. He's going to have surgery to even start walking right again. Yet, we get on Facebook and we sit here and we say, oh, quit being a crybaby. Oh, you're being selfish. You're being this. You're being that. You should have pulled yourself from the game. You're right. I was saying it too. You're injured. But you know what? I'm not a professional athlete. I'm just a professional loudmouth. I'm not a professional athlete. I never knew what that desire was. Right here, Sandy. But yet, when Manny had his terrible game, what were we doing? We were bashing Manny. Saying, oh, Manny sucks. AJ needs to come back. AJ needs to come back. AJ needs to come back. Manny's terrible. Manny's terrible. Arlington, get in here because you all know right now. I'm telling you right now, you all know that if AJ would have pulled himself from that game, we'd have been like, why is AJ pulling himself? We got to win this championship game. Manny's going to lose this game for us. Manny's going to lose it. Oh, my God. We got to have AJ in. You can't, AJ can't rise AJ out. Manny lost us the game. We should all be on our knees and saluting AJ McCarron.
On the knees? No, I won't get on my knees for it, man. Like I will give him his props though.
Bowing to AJ McCarron for what this man did for us in this league. And I wouldn't be surprised after all this stuff that was said, on the social media and on the YouTube at the press conference that when AJ's healthy, AJ would say, yep, nope, not coming back to St. Louis. Sorry, St. Louis. I can't do it. What way you treated me? Nope. Sending death threats to my mom, sending death threats to me, sending death threats to my kids. Sorry, not coming back. I'm going to go play for the Brahmas. I'm going to go play for the Stallions. I'm going to stay home. I wouldn't blame the dude anyways. Now, get back to the main point, Arlington. Right here. Here's what we got to do, Arlington. Fill it, right? We got to fill it.
Hey, it's got to be one big party, man.
It's got to be a big party, man. That's what San Antonio was.
It's got to be a big party, man. Hey, shout out to the MVP, Adrian Martinez. I know a lot of people like, hey, Matt Corral, he went 9 of 11, 120 with 2 touchdowns and an interception. Maybe he should start the game.
Maybe.
No. No. I don't think the OC could game plan. See, okay, there are
Joe, that's what I'm saying. No matter what would have happened with AJ.
Damned if I tried to say that.
Mattered. He was damned if he did, damned if he don't. It wouldn't have mattered.
That's why a lot of people were saying, "Oh my God," because dude, we was in that same row. There was some guys that's next to me kept saying, "Oh my God, why are they running 4 times in a row?" And there's a reason now. And it's not to say, it's not to excuse him, it's not to blame him, but my man was hurting, and he still went out.
The word for it,
right? And he was still out there trying his damnedest to go out there and try to get a win. Because remember that very first play, sir, when it was overthrown.
Look what Scott said right here. Scott, you're absolutely right. We ran Kurt Warner out of town. You're right.
And Mark Bulger.
Now, I'll even go one better. We ran Wayne Gretzky out of town.
No, Mike did. No,
well, actually, hold on.
Mike
You're
Keenan
right.
did
I lied.
that.
No, Brett Hall ran Wayne Gretzky out of town. You're right. My bad.
That's Mike Keenan.
No, it wasn't Mike Keenan, and you know it, Arlington. You know this.
No.
You know the real story.
The real story was Keenan.
No,
the real story was Keenan.
Come find me at the tailgate. You guys know where I'm at. I'll tell you the story of why Brett Hull is the worst St. Louis Blues player ever, and was a cancer, was a parasite for the St. Louis Blues. Come find me, and I'll tell you the true story. Anyways, Arlington, let's get back to it.
Okay, that we got far enough. But yeah, I get it. They ran. Yeah, and Kurt Warner's going to be there. I tried to get him for the show. I was trying to make you happy and stuff, man. But, it didn't quite work out as I had hoped. I hoped that Kurt Warner was going to come on so that way he could talk about the game and stuff and all that. Hey, it's kind of funny that you speak about the Blues. Today is the 5-year anniversary.
Come talk to me. I'll tell you the true story about that. Come talk to me. I'll tell you the true story.
I told you, man. I told you it was Keenan, dude.
Talk to me. Joe, you know where I tailgate at. Come talk to me. I'll tell you the true story of why Wayne Gretzky's out of here. I'll tell you the real story. But
he got a house in St. Louis. What are you talking about?
Why he left St. Louis and he didn't want to play in St. Louis. Come find me because I'll tell you the real story. Arlington, let's get to it because
we need to take a break since you went on your
we don't need
rant.
to take a break. Arlington, we called. Wait, Arlington. If I'm not mistaken, I was wrong and you were right for the UFL championship game.
Did I say that this was going to be the UFL championship game?
If I'm not mistaken, you said it was going to be the Brahmas and the Stallions. And I said if AJ McCarron is here, it would be the Battlehawks. But I said it would be the Brahmas and Stallions. You said you couldn't do that. I was like, fine. I'm going St. Louis Battlehawks then against the Brahmas. Now, Arlington.
Hey, because the Stallions are no joke either,
right,
man.
But here's the thing. We both picked the Stallions to win.
The championship?
Now, we did. But here's the problem.
My pick.
The Brahmas are the 1-8-1 or 9-1. They are the in 9-1. You like that little reference I just did there, Arlington?
Yeah, I know where you get that from.
They are the 1-9-1. So, Arlington, the question is who wins this game?
Oh man.
Let's talk about it, because that's the 900-pound gorilla in the room.
So
I mean,
let's see.
I'm
The last time these two teams played,
I'm
Normandy
700 pounds of that gorilla, and you're only 200 pounds of it because I'm the fatter one of the two.
big back, big back. Okay, I just want to throw that out there real quick. Anyway, the last time these two teams played, Garbers was not the quarterback.
Correct.
It was Quentin Normandy, right?
McFarland, if I'm not mistaken, McFarland wasn't in the game either.
Right. You're gonna need him in this
And if
game.
I'm also not
for
mistaken, Lovett wasn't in the game either.
No.
So the only
But they
person they
still-
had was Kirkland.
and they
That
still
was
able to
it.
pull it off. So now that they have their quarterback, they have two running backs. The controversial thing that they got is Landon. They tried to sign a tight end for the game. They weren't able to.
Correct.
Due to some UFL interference.
Mhm.
That was said, execs interfering. And so they're going to be down one tight end. And I think that's Cody Latimer at this point, right? So they signed a wide receiver to take the spot. They wouldn't let him do a tight end. It's going to be difficult because Birmingham's defense can cause problems.
They still can. But Arlington.
But so can San Antonio.
That is true. So can San Antonio. And Arlington, let's look at this. Are you ready? Birmingham only played in one city where the crowd was very raucous. And where was that city, Arlington?
San Antonio.
The only game that the Birmingham lost was in front of more than the 6,000 fans they had.
Exactly. So that said, if this is going, hey, it's already Coach Phillips had already sent an email saying it's Texas versus everybody, right?
That is true. He did say that. He stole our line.
There are people saying the fix is in, saying that the almighty great one, the boss, is going to have his team win the UFL's first.
But is he really the boss? Because he didn't even show up for the 2 championship games.
Listen,
like I literally think if he shows up to the UFL's championship game, right? I think everybody should boo him.
No, I think all sins will be forgiven because he actually showed up.
But he didn't show up for a Battle Hawk game. Boo his ass. That's what I say. Boo his ass.
I want him to do heel rock in front of that man.
I want him coming out as final boss and not even care. Not even care. Arlington, listen. Listen.
Look at this ass to boo him.
Listen, I have a feeling that we're going to see a very, very good game with here. You know what I mean?
I think so too. I really think people are really downplaying this game just because the Battlehawks aren't playing in it.
No, JR, we boo him. We boo him, JR. He didn't come to St. Louis while the Battlehawks play. We boo him now.
He couldn't, damn it, because of the freaking of WrestleMania.
Boo, knew that. Boo. He could have came to a different game. Boo. He could have came to the championship. Boo. Boo. Boo.
I mean, come on, man. It's as a matter of fact, I think Stefan is on his way to St. Louis with his.
He is.
Yeah.
Stefan is.
Yeah, but the thing is, look, even with that being said, man, look, you can't. It's saying he's the reason that the Battlehawks are back. Okay, cool, fine. I think Danny Garcia is the reason for that. No. If he signs my sign, I won't. If he walks past it, boo that man.
Then boo him, Joe, because he's JR. He's walking right by it. Boo
I
it.
guess no idea.
Boo it. Boo him.
Oh shoot. Okay. Hey, but this is gonna be one hell of a game. I get it. People gonna be like,
It really is going to be a good
it's
game.
Father's Day. I'm gonna spend a lot of y'all ain't
Again.
spending it with your fathers. No way.
Danny is the final boss. Again, Arlington, I get it that there are going to be people who have things that come up. I get that. I understand that family circumstances come up. Today is the reason why I was late. Family circumstances came up today for me. All day. I didn't talk to anybody all day. Did I, Arlington? I didn't talk to Arlington. Didn't talk to anybody. I had family stuff that I had to take care of. But if The Rock does show up, we do this. We boo him, Arlington. We just show our disdain for the man. But anyways, again, but the people who can show up, the people who can make it, we need to be there to do this, to show the other fan base. We were actually going to have a guest on, Arlington. Nate from DC. From DC. Saying, St. Louis, I want to see why you guys are the best fan base. It sucks that you guys lost. It's a shame that I can't party in the dome. He gave us all the credit in the world, but he goes, I really hope that St. Louis doesn't disappoint and shows up for the game. We've talked enough trash, boys.
Great game.
Like right here. Like JR says, dude, where would you rather be on Father's Day than the Battle Dome with your kids and possibly your dad? Listen, JR, some dads can't make it because they're physically sick right now. Or there's something wrong that they can't make it to. So we shouldn't bash those people. Look, Arlington will tell you, I wanted to come on here and bash all of you guys for just wanting to sell your tickets and stuff. But then I started going through and I looked at the comments and I started seeing some people saying, man, I got a family, I have a family issues, or I have, I had plans that were already scheduled, and I couldn't make it, but if the Battlehawks were going to go, I was going to cancel my plans. I already paid for the trip, blah, blah, blah. I get all that stuff. Get all that. I get why understands would be mad. Like JR, like you were mad. But go back and watch the game, guys. You'll see we just got outplayed. And what we're going to see this Sunday on Father's Day is going to be another hell of a game. Imagine, Arlington. Arlington, you ready? Imagine the last 5 weeks or the last 4 weeks of this league. The great football that we've had between the top 4 teams. When's the last time we've seen anything like that, Arlington?
What you mean? The top 4 teams?
The top 4 teams where we've seen great football, all 4 of those last 4 games up until this game that we've seen competitive and great football.
Yeah, it definitely was. It's hard for a team to knock off. Like Birmingham was able to do it 3 times. St. Louis was not.
Mm-hmm.
And they overcome adversity because I think in the game with the Michigan and Birmingham, they were down at one point double digits.
Mm-hmm.
They stormed back and Michigan never scored again.
Nope, they sure didn't.
So, and then the other game, you had a team that couldn't get it together offensively, which made it harder for their defense to even stop the run, which had been plagued by them all season long.
Mm-hmm.
That was their issue, was stopping the run, and it was showcased. Like I said before at the beginning of the show, when you gave up over 200 yards rushing and nearly gave it to 2 guys, that was going to be a problem. And I said, you were the one that said to me, if Anthony McFarland gets hot, it's a wrap. And sure enough, the final stat line on that was 11 carries, 115 yards, and a 69-yard touchdown to go along with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, we had to realize about our team. We were great offensively. We all want to sit here and say we need to get rid of our offensive coordinator and all that stuff, right, Arlington?
Yes,
But
Gurkowski was
Arlington,
taking a lot of heat.
weren't we the second best offensive team in the league?
Uh-huh.
Right. That's right. Didn't we, as much as I don't like the man No Hands Butler, wasn't he the leading receiver in the league?
Again.
Again, wait. Didn't we have the number one running back in the league?
Really?
Or
Sailors
the
was in.
all-team
Yes, right.
best running back in the league, right?
Sailors
Jacob
did lead,
Sailors?
was as the number one. Listen, as the running back. Now he wasn't leading the league in yards because of
No,
course
but
the
he was the
quarterback did,
number one
but he was the
running
number
back,
one running back.
right? And then didn't we have the guy who was number 2 in passing yards, touchdowns, number 1 in completion ratings in the league?
And he only played 8 games.
Exactly. Daddy Ed, you're right. It has nothing to do with play calling. You're absolutely right. Because that was your argument on a few posts, that it was the play calling. The problem has always been, Arlington, are you ready for it? Our defense has always been our weakness.
Hey, and what's crazy is the other 3 defenses were on top of the mountain.
On
Like
point.
Michigan, Birmingham, San Antonio. And it was just like it was annoying to see how out of those 4
No,
teams that
Ed.
literally the Battlehawks.
No, Ed. It's not the play calling. It's not. It's the defensive play calling. Not the offensive play calling, guys. The argument is
Listen,
null
I
and
get where
void.
you're coming from. I get where you're coming from with the fact that everybody was pissed off at the fact that Bruce Gradkowski ran the ball 4 freaking times on a series in a row. But the reason that was the case was because of the condition of AJ McCarron. Granted, we could sit here all day, make excuses for it, saying he shouldn't have been out there or whatever. But he could only go but what was going on with his quarterback.
Right here.
So the
Right here.
only
Look,
could be-
Joe. Joe said he couldn't adjust the last 3 weeks and figure out the defense was on the field 10 minutes in the first quarter as we continued going 3 and out, non-stopping right up the middle. You're absolutely right, because our defense was terrible. Defense was terrible, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it was our defense that was terrible.
Hey, I will say this though. That one play, we'll try to do the trick
That
play and
was
stuff.
dumb.
That was dumb. It was dumb as hell. Why would you were not faking out the Brahmas defense? You gotta understand this was Wade Phillips. You're dealing with a man that has, granted, they have talked bad about him that he cannot finish seasons and they can't win for the life of him. And guess what? The Battlehawks made it easy for him. They made it easy for him because they were able to, and when you have an AJ McCarron that can't move out of the pocket, that is what made it horrible. And I get it, the offensive line play. We can sit here, we don't even touch on them, but they have some blame to get with that too, by not keeping AJ standing, by trying to keep him from getting knocked down. It was hard because Wade Phillips was constantly getting after AJ McCarron, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Phillips knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Phillips knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of that, it made it difficult for that defense.
Look, I'm not going to say Brad Gronkowski is a great OC. I'm not going to say that.
And experience came into play. Let's not forget, AJ and Wade got playoff experience in spring football. They both got it. Coach Beck and Gradkowski and Leroy Glover do not.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed. It showed. It showed.
Mm-hmm.
when they
What?
couldn't connect. And then Andre Schmidt missing a 50, what was it, a 50-yarder in the biggest game, and we were sitting there just hyping him up, hoping that he was going to be the guy to be the special teams player of the year. And he came out in the biggest game of the year and missed.
Mm-hmm.
But congratulations to all of them because they all going to get tryouts as they should.
They should.
That's
Hey,
the
big
part of it.
props to Akeem Butler, who's in talks with the Jags. A speedy recovery to AJ McCarron, who's going to be having surgery. You know? I mean,
Hey.
look, like Sandy said it right here. What about the very first pass that AJ threw? Right to a wide open Akeem Butler that went through his hands. Oops.
Anyway, you want to do a second hour? You want to keep going?
No, I don't, because I still have some personal issues that I have to take care of. I just was sitting here going, man, you know, my guy wasn't here, but let's get to it, Arlington. You're right. Aren't you? Who are you doing? Where's Amber at? I thought she was going to join you.
I reached out. I never heard back.
Oh.
I reached out.
I love this comment by JR.
Hey, that's how you get ready, baby. That's how you get ready.
Right, yeah. Guys, let's really think about it. This was an entire team loss by the Battlehawks. Not just on the, you know, do I think they need to make some major changes? Yes, I do. But Arlington.
We didn't devote the whole damn show to it, but you know, those are the fans that came in was those
That's
guys.
true. They were the ones wanting to chime in. Now, go fill the top. Arlington, let's get to it. Who do we have? Or do we stick with our pick?
I'm XFL all the way.
So are we doing a mulligan here?
I'm XFL all the way, baby. Hey,
Sandy, and I understand why. Sandy, I understand why you have to watch from home. You got
that's
family
cool. Yeah,
stuff.
everybody
Arlington,
has their reason.
I'll be right back.
Oh God, what is he doing? Leaving the set. XFL all the way. XFL all the way. XFL all the way. Don't you let me down either, San Antonio. I done picked y'all. Wade Phillips, this is your moment. This is your moment, and you need to make sure that you do a good thing and win this game.
All right. It's time for me to pick my team.
XFL for the win, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Is Brahmas or nothing? Brahmas or nothing, baby. Hey, shout out to my people over at the Horns Forward Podcast. I need the Brahma hat.
Orange forward, baby. The Brahmas are going to win this game because they are the 1-9-1, and they're going to be the 2-9-2. Arlington, look, I mean, Wade Phillips has been playing a great game, been calling some great games, right? You'll be seeing this. You'll be seeing this right here, Arlington. You'll be seeing this flying from my suite right here. This will be flying from my suite right here with thank you to the courtesy of the greatest OC in the UFL, my man, my new man crush, Arlington, AJ Smith.
AJ Smith. All right, that'll wrap this bad boy up for this edition of the show tonight. Hey, we got the hour in. I wanted to make sure it was the case. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Hey, fuel is off for the rest of the night. Tune in tomorrow. We'll have Bottom Line and Girl Chat Sports at a special time, along with the Jersey the King show too. So next week, the A-Team, RC will be back.
Hey, big prayers to RC. Big prayers to RC.
Yeah.
Big out there.
All right.
You're right. We do need the nooch. The nooch. The nooch. Noochie the gooch. The nooch. The nooch. The nooch is Gucci. The nooch.